everyone. And I know this. I say this every time. I am so super excited, but listen to this one. Yes, I am really excited today because I have an amazing woman who I love dearly, makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me go crazy, keeps me on track, and everything else. And she knows how much I respect her. But most of all, I love how she in her space and her skin, she's so confident. And it took me a long time to understand this. And we'll talk more about this with Miss Rose Nixon. But I just love the way that nothing bothers her. She feels the sexiness. She loves to be sexy, and believe me, she would not leave the house not looking like this. So please do help me welcome Miss Rose Nixon. Welcome, Rose.
Hi, Dianne. How are you? Thank you for having me on your amazing show. Congratulations, actually, with the show.
Well, thank you. You know, you're part of the team as well. So
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure keeping me on track. And definitely, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am Rose N. I live out in Toronto. So I'm in the GTA, the six, as they call it. I'm a professional organizer and I own a small home based business called Really Organized Now. I am known as the declutter coach. And what I do is I basically help people get organized. So this is what I do. I am also a co-host of a show called Moms Embracing Tech with my business bestie, and we go on live every week, and we help to elevate women in embracing technology and embracing themselves. So it's all about empowerment and feeling good and putting your best out in the world.
Well, thank you for that, Miss Rose. Well, and here's the thing about all of this. For those who don't know me, my name is Dianne Ojar, and I just love to have fun. And this, for me, is something I want to do for such a long time. And sometimes when you really want to do something, don't give up. The tools and resources will just come along. And if you want to find out more about me, please do. Yeah, believe everybody here knows about me, so we wouldn't waste time on that. But
I think
definitely,
you, I think you have a million shows. So like
yeah,
you definitely live what you
yeah.
speak, and that's the beauty of it is that
Well, thank
you're
you.
definitely somebody who completely embraces where they're at every stage with the good and the bad. And I think, with the topic being, what's sexy, I think that's sexy, right? Like when
Yeah,
no matter what, you show up, right?
show up. It might be 10 years after, but I show up.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You figure it out. You
Yeah, I
figure it
did
out.
that. And this is what sexy is to me is doing, a lot because you're part of our team. We talk about the logo and we do certain things, and it helps me, it calms me, and it's really putting my best foot forward. My best foot. Might not be everybody else's best foot because I know we don't agree on everything that I do. But
Exactly.
sometimes you just have to go and you have to tweak and you have to tweak and you tweak and just make it appealing, because sexiness is really about attractiveness. It's the energy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Alan. Please do send us a message. Yes, Alan, send us a message. Send Rose a message and call. She's hoping that you send her a question.
Ooh,
That's another partner. That's one of our partners in crime.
yeah.
So, Rose, what does sexy mean to you?
Sexy means to me that there's a certain level of assuredness within yourself, like you understand truly who you are or who you were meant to be. And so even if you're not there yet, you hold true to that. And I think it exudes a certain type of confidence, right? That it's not so much about what the world sees as confidence, but what you feel inside as confidence. And I think when it starts from the inside out, no matter how you look, no matter where you're going, no matter who you're with, they're going to be attracted to you because you are attracted to you.
Well, let me ask you something then.
Yes, go ahead.
What do you believe is one of your sexiest features? Now, let me just describe this. Rose can describe herself. She is a plus size woman. Now, all the plus size women, I believe you guys are sexy. When I see you all down the runway and you're working it, and I'm like, damn, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
You forget about all the, it's not about the size zero. Who wants to see size zero for goodness sake?
yeah.
Right? The
I
models.
mean,
And the projects that we're doing, we want real
yes,
people there.
yes. Real people to own their space, right? Now, the thing is that no matter your size or no matter your look, no matter your height, no matter your background, right? We all have to step forward for ourselves and be confident in who we are and what we're trying to project, right? People are going to gravitate towards that. So it's not like I wake up confident every day. Okay. It's
Really?
not that,
Like,
no,
seriously?
yeah, I mean, I'm
Seriously?
human. I'm human, right? So you do have
I didn't think so.
your
I
your
don't know
peaks
if
and your
you're a superwoman.
valleys.
Oh, you're a superwoman. As far as I'm concerned, you're a superwoman. But sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
you know what? Even super women have a dip sometimes where they're like, I'm not feeling that great today. I don't think I really enjoy how my aesthetic looks today. And sometimes your physical energy doesn't help you bring about that feeling that you need to have. That has to start from within for you to start being sexy. What is being sexy?
Why
You
don't
know,
you
it's
read
a
Alan?
combination of things. It's a
Well,
combination of things.
before we go forward, Alan has a message for you. Sorry to interrupt
Oh,
you.
okay, sure.
You share it. You read it. You have your
Oh,
glasses on.
okay. Oh, that's right. I totally agree. Knowing one's self-worth and the assertiveness to set boundaries to protect your own energy is sexy. That's very, very true. And hopefully you have a partner that can reciprocate that with you or that can help you um, fuel or run off of that energy, right? But even if you're not with someone, if you're not in a binding relationship with someone, you know, daily you can still do things to continue to remind yourself of why you're here and your purpose is what your purpose is, right? So every day there's little things that you can do to remind yourself that you know what, I look good, I feel good, I'm attracting the things that I want in life, I'm attracting the people that I want in life, I'm attractive to the people in my life,
Absolutely.
right?
So what's a sexy? What is you feel is your sexiest part of you?
You know what? I think I'm a
She just
brain person, and I think a lot of women are. I think here, and I think we it's a classic cliche statement, especially when it comes to women and their bodies and the way in which they feel sexiest. If you can stimulate a woman's mind, a thought process, you know, have her thinking, I think you're on your way to something. Now, what that thing is, I don't know, but you just might be on your way to something. Women need to think, women need to be heard, women need to be listened to, and then we can go from there. But I
well,
think for
let me
me, I
see.
feel that I'm smart. I think that I'm funny.
You
I
are
think that
smart.
I'm intellectual. And
You
I
are
think,
intellectual.
thank you. But I think those are some of the things, like I said, there's no one thing, but that's where it
Yeah,
starts, right? Because it starts with a thought, you
it
know,
does start with a thought. And then,
right?
by the way, Rose is our editor as well, and she edits. So just in case anybody wants editor, she's our editor as well. So I really
Thanks
truly
for putting
appreciate
that
that.
out
She
there.
has some more work coming towards her. Trust me on that one.
Yeah.
But on the physical side,
Yes.
and everything you have said there, and I don't want you to think it. I
Hmm.
want you to say if somebody looks at you and say, oh, cool. I could tell a couple of things is sexy and appealing to me about you. And I'm a woman and
Yeah.
you're a woman. And it's just someone sees you if they don't know you. And let me tell you something. She might look like a tough cookie, hard not to crack.
I don't look that tough. I don't look that tough.
Alan, could you put a comment there, please? But she has a big heart. And if she could put up with me for 10 plus years, then she could put up with anybody.
Yeah,
And here's the thing about Rose. You know, you've I wish I could that haircut of yours. I wish I could shave my head right now. But I don't think you're gonna look like that because that really looks cool on you.
thank
Your
you.
plus size. You did a Dove. Let's talk about that Dove commercial for a moment. You did a Dove commercial. And girl, you crushed it because I was going to say another word and you don't like me using that word.
Thank
You
you.
crushed it. Like, seriously.
Yeah, well, you know
This
what?
stripe, wait. You had in a striped
Oh,
horizontal top.
top. Hmm.
Then you had a
I love stripe.
belt,
I
and
love stripe.
you had this belt, and then you also had this little cute little
Leather
skirt and
skirt.
with your
Hmm.
boots. Oh my God, that was so hot. And it was just natural. Your features, you have amazing features. I
Thank
kid you not.
you.
And you're always put together. And I always laugh about the story you tell your children. You do not leave home looking like you have to tell that story
Yeah,
because
you never leave home without it. It's like the American Express card, right? Like for me, I never leave home without this lip gloss or lipstick and just a pat of face powder. That's good enough for me.
so
You
this
know,
is all
I'm
natural. This is all natural beauty, not like me,
yeah,
right?
minus the
This is
powder
all
and the lipstick.
see?
I don't even have
Hello.
on mascara right now, right? Because I wear glasses. It's often missed. But honestly, and going to the show us the actual Dove campaign that I participated in, it was all about being more in your natural state of being in terms of your skin, complexion, all of that. They were really trying to capture women in their natural state of being. And that happened like back in 2019.
Mhm.
And I actually saw an ad on Instagram, and I don't know what possessed me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to look into it. I looked into it. And right away that same night, I stayed up and I put in the application. And I said, well, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. Let's just see. You never know. They might respond. And if they don't, they don't. Right. And
Mhm.
then a few weeks passed and I didn't see anything, didn't see a reply to the email, nothing. Maybe about 3 weeks in, I had a thing and I see it pop up on. I lost it like within myself. I was like, no, they didn't. They actually like replied, I am what? And they're like, yeah, we're interested in your story. We're interested in your look. And we think you'd be a great match for this photo shoot. So it was really actually a photo shoot, not so much a commercial. And what they do is they have a local photographer in your city. So this is women all across the globe take participating in this. It's part of their self esteem project.
Mhm.
Um, and so they match you up with a photographer, and then that photographer does a photo shoot. And then what ends up happening is that your photos end up in the Getty Images database of stock photography. So it means that people all across the globe could access it and use it in their ads, in their whatever.
It's
So,
amazing. It's
yeah,
amazing. You
but
have
it
to
was
see
such
it.
an incredible feeling. And you know what it did? It pushed me out of my comfort zone because some of the photos actually had me in like workout gear, like with a bra top and leggings and all of that.
Okay, I didn't see those.
Yeah, and so for
You
me, that
gotta
was
no,
a
no, no, no,
little
no.
bit
Back up. No, no, no,
exposed for
no.
me.
Back
That
up
was
the
like
train here. Back
exposed
up
for
the train.
me.
Wait. Back up the train. You need to send me those photos. I did not see those ones.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I didn't.
I want to see this after the show. Okay, I'm not kidding you. And now you have me. Before the night is over, you please do send me those photos so I can
Oh,
see
I
these
will.
photos.
I will. I didn't realize that you didn't see those ones.
No,
But
I
yeah,
didn't
there
see
was a
those ones.
series of shots, and we took like different frames and different.
She did a good job. Your photography did a
Yeah,
great
the
job.
photographer was amazing. Her name is Brooke Shell, and she was amazing. She was just so personable, made me very relaxed. We did it at a studio downtown, and I actually had an opportunity to invite my two sons to take part of the photos with me,
Nice.
to be like background people in the photos, and it was just such an overall great
I haven't seen.
experience. Yeah.
Okay, so she's not letting out the raw side, okay, with her boudoir and so forth like that. Because I can see Rose doing
You know
boudoir.
what? That is something that I've never done, that I've always
My
wanted to
soul,
do,
girl,
and one day
Mike,
I
Mike,
will do those.
Mike, if you listen to me, all these
Mhm.
photographers we work with who do boudoir, I'm telling you, please do
I would
connect
do
with
it.
me, and
Yeah.
Rose will do it. Oh, I'm not kidding you, Rose. I can totally see you in a boudoir.
Yeah.
And
Thank
it's
you.
not, and yes, talk about that.
Mhm.
Boudoir is not about what people think it is.
No.
Actually, I was invited to do one. And this photographer was doing a bunch of them with lots of people, and we didn't end up doing it. But
Yeah.
the fact is, but it's all about really about your confidence and how you see yourself, and how it's not really about how people perceive you. It's about how you feel about yourself.
Exactly.
Girl,
Exactly.
here's the thing, Rose.
Yeah.
I will even take all the pictures with you. I may not do the best job. I have to go and I'm not kidding. You know what? I would even do the job for you. I have a chair here. I just have to move all the clothes on the chair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's
Well,
a
we'll have
red
to try to
chair.
set that up then,
Rose,
maybe.
it's a red chair, man. It's a red chair. And you just
Wow.
I tell you, I would volunteer that. I'm not kidding you. And have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Here's why. Any woman out there, and here's the difference about, hi Tim. I know Tim will agree with this. Any woman out there, and Vasanti, any woman out there who is willing to do this, maybe this is what we should do. We should arrange, because let's do that. We should
It's very
arrange.
liberating, like, to have your photos
Well, you're not going to
taken
see
at
me
this.
in that anymore, but you
No.
can. No, no, no. I've used to see my body, but
It's
that's what we
not
should do for
about.
this show. Yeah, but you know what? I lost so much weight, and but
Okay,
yes,
so you're on the opposite end of my spectrum.
I will
Okay.
direct. I will direct. This is what we should do for the sexy show. We should do a boudoir set, a fun piece, tasteful, nothing too, crazy, but tasteful. And down the road, maybe it's a work in progress, and we can put that together and to help people feel confident for both men and women. Hi, Jeff.
Well, you know what the
Oh, you're
thing is
so
though?
sweet.
The
Um,
thing is that you touched on something. So like you're saying not me because you feel like no, 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 no.
it's not like I feel, I know. Okay.
It's not, I know, but what we need to recognize is that we are all worthy of having a
Oh yeah.
certain look. We are all worthy of being, look, the fashion industry, we all see it every day.
Okay, Rose, fine. Okay.
What
I
we
will do it.
consider beautiful in one person's eyes is not necessarily
Okay, Rose.
beautiful in other people's eyes.
Here's what I
And
want.
anyone can be made up to look glamorous and beautiful and sexy.
Okay,
It just
Rose,
is,
fine.
you
Okay, I'll
know?
give in. But I'll tell you what, I'm not wearing any short teddies. I'm going to wear a long one. A
No, but you know
long,
what? It's
and
not
I want
just,
a nice,
it's
you know what I want?
not,
Nice. Here's everybody out there. Let me tell you what I would do. I would wear a nice long teddy with a nice silk gown for it, and or white, pure white, or hot red. But I'm not wearing no short teddy. Good.
well, again, we don't have to stay with the stereotypical
No,
look. And
I would.
it's not about skin.
I know. I'm not
Okay?
talking about skin.
No,
I
I
just
know, but
want
what you're describing is like
I
you're
got
like,
you.
okay, I wouldn't go down that road. But it's
No,
really about what
I
you're
just
comfortable
want
with.
the 50s, the 40s, 50s look. I think it's very elegant
Yeah,
in those days. That's what I'm looking at. That's because I think that era is so elegant.
yeah.
And and here's a funny thing. I went to the store looking for some of them, and they're really hard to find. They really
Well,
have to find these lingerie, really nice lingerie that's tasteful, that you don't have to freeze your butt in the night type of thing.
no, I mean you've got to really, source it out. There's a lot of great places where you
Oh
can
yeah,
buy that.
Rose, you're good at that. Okay, who's in? who's in. We can have a fun thing with this. Honestly, maybe that's something we should talk about. We should put that
Well,
together.
definitely in the upcoming days, as you know, people get more comfortable with being around each other, people being comfortable face to face and being in those kind of intimate settings. Absolutely. That's I think that would be is so empowering for a lot of women who don't typically see themselves as even beautiful, much less sexy. Like, the thing is that women have an often negative sense of imaging about themselves based on either things they've been told, they've been experienced, maybe from childhood, from their partners, from whoever, like somebody in there has given them a negative image of themselves.
What about the men? What do you picture the men in? It's a few.
Well,
Actually, we
they
have a
don't
few men on
they
here
don't
right
they
now.
don't need to be in anything. I'm kidding. No, cover it up, cover it up. I'm good. Just cover it up.
Okay, what's appealing? What do you find is attractive and sexy to you when you see a image, a photo of a man who it's tasteful, but not too. You can tell from
Okay,
someone's
I
eyes and face, what they why they pose. I mean, look at the Calvin Kleins and so forth. I mean, for goodness sake.
Yeah, for me, you know what? I think a fit body, I have to say that. Like I'm not necessarily physically the so-called physical poster child for fitness, but in terms of what I look for in a partner, I prefer people on the leaner side. I prefer people to have a little bit of fitness to their bodies. A healthy smile is huge. You don't have to have hair. I think bald is definitely sexy.
It is. I
And I
never was
think,
into baldness, but
yeah, and
everybody I know is baldness.
I think the way a person walks, a person talks, and I think if somebody can really utilize language in a certain way, how they speak to women, how they are around other women, if you're in the process in the sphere where you can see them interacting with women of all ages, and you can see that like how they speak to them, that can often be very sexy regardless of what the person looks like.
Well,
And I don't care. For
you.
me,
Mhm.
humor is huge. I don't you gotta make me laugh.
Well, let me tell you something. If you never see me blush before, I've
Hmm.
said this before, Tim, you remember on that show, you, I keep telling you secrets out. You put on a suspenders. I don't care what you have on. It could be on your naked body. It could be in a. I am a
Yeah,
James Bond.
you have a thing for suspenders. I don't know where that came from. Do you know where that came from?
Actually, first of all, I love the James Bond look. I
Yeah,
love to see a
a
man.
very
I love to see a
tailored
man in a nice suit.
tailored
Now, it
look.
doesn't have to be.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. It could be also somebody who looks really nice sport. Doesn't have to have a tie. But
Yeah.
I like the bow tie. I like the business look.
Yeah.
Um, I the men. There's some men overweight men who wear suspenders. Some don't put it out that well. But the point is the point.
Hmm.
And I'm saying I don't know. I think it just comes from the tuxedo. But
Oh
I also
yeah,
love
I
to see
think
a man with
a
listen,
suit is a powerful, powerful
I
tool.
have to say something. Oh my gosh. I hope they never see this show. A
Why?
long time ago, because they know that. A long, many moons ago, I had to meet someone as a business meeting, and I didn't know what he looked like. And I saw him because when I went, he had to call me and text me and say, where he was standing. This was downtown. And when I looked around, I saw this image.
What does that mean?
It was one of those GQ moments. I swear to you.
Oh, really?
I still talk about it. I mention it every so often that a blue suit with
Hmm.
a white shirt, and he was leaning more or less against. I don't know if it was a newsstand or a pole or something. It was
Yeah, but
Texan and
looking kind of casual.
it was cash with his,
Hmm.
and oh my goodness, it was like what it was one of those GQ moments, and it just lasted forever. amazing. But you can have, yeah. Oh, I could see him in suspenders. Oh yes. Could you not? I don't think he'd ever wear suspenders. It's a
Oh,
friend of mine. I've tried to get him to wear suspenders. He wouldn't. It's an old friend of mine. But
well,
no,
you never know what happens in life.
nah,
You may get your wish.
no. I really believe it's elegant because I believe we tend to forget that era, in the 20s and so forth when you had, oh, back in those days when you look at the movies, the men, if they go out to the store, they have on their
Yeah,
suit.
yeah. A
And
suit was
it
everything.
just looks
Hmm.
so distinguished. And now everybody's into beards
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
Are
really
you
clean it.
about it? Are you about that?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's some of them who couldn't really rock it, but you
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
you
for
have to
sure.
keep it groomed. You could really rock it, man. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. It is one of these things. The friend who said to me once a long time ago, something about a beard, and I was like, well, let me see the beard. Right?
Hmm.
He said, no, I don't like it. I shave it off. Of course, of everything's going on, guess what? They have a beard. And it sends me a picture. And I was like, but what happened? He said, it's just laziness. I said, but you need to clean it up because it was like all
Yeah,
here.
and
You need to
yeah, it
clean it up.
needs
I
to
said,
be coiffed. Yeah,
why don't you take hair off? Because he has short hair. Take
yeah,
hair off and just do it here. I
yeah.
said, then no
You
one tell
gotta
me.
groom. You gotta groom. I don't care what what the dimensions are and what the color or the
Man,
what
I hope
how
you listen
much.
to all of this, eh?
But you know what? Regardless, like groom. Grooming is so important. Clean and confident is the key here. Let's keep it all clean and let's just exude all confidence.
Well,
Okay?
his hair is a little longer than yours, in
Mhm.
that sense. A little have a receding hairline, but when he
Yeah,
cleaned up here and he sent me a picture, this is like a while ago.
yeah,
And it's like, I said, well, do you like it? He said, I love it. I said, well, see, so it's good to experiment. And like I said, just
sure.
experiment with it. It's not with the other person. Actually, I think he looks better with it than without it, to tell
Yeah.
you the truth. But yes, and the
But it
boldness.
starts with you. It starts with, do you see yourself as beautiful? Do you think yourself as sexy? Do you think that you have something to offer the world? Right?
But we have
People
three
will
men. We have some
gravitate to
men that,
things that are positive. If you come across as a negative person, that's unsexy. If you
it's
come
okay.
across as a positive person, regardless of
Yeah.
how you look, that is often very attractive as a trait.
Yes. Well, we have a couple men here on right now.
Yeah.
And, please in the comment, tell us something really. Just don't be quiet. They're laughing, giggling in the background there. Why don't you step it up? Why don't you come up and say, okay, what do you believe is sexy for you? Tell us. Tim, I know your wife is sexy for you. I know this. As well. But tell us how you see yourself. If you had to do a photo shoot, why I'm looking at the man's name here. If you had to do a photo shoot, what type of photo shoot would you want to do to show that for you, this is for you, to show this is about you. And
Mhm.
whoever sees it, that's fine. If you put a suspenders in there, okay, I'm good with that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about suits and that tailored look, but that tailored
Yes.
look really does, I think, resonates with a lot of women, and especially
Especially our
because
age, especially my age group in a sense.
no, I think even the younger people, like if you look across like social media, for example, and you see some of the way in which the young people right now, especially the young men, are dressing themselves, and it may not be their everyday wear, but they
Mhm.
make it a point that because I'm not dressed like this every day, if they're going to a special occasion or they're going to a special date night or they're just going out with friends, they put on a jacket, they have on it may not be the suit and tie thing, but they get tailored and they get groomed. And I'm back in the day, we used to call men who were into grooming metrosexuals, and we don't use that terminology anymore. Remember? back in the 80s and the early 90s?
That was not my thing at the back in the 80s and early 90s.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
Rose,
that's what
that's
we
way
used to
before my
call.
time of sexiness.
But there is a value in that. That if a person is willing to clip their nails, clip their toenails, come across with clean teeth, clean breath, cleanly shaven. You don't have to have the most expensive clothes. You don't have to have the most expensive anything. But if you can come across like you actually give a shit about you and how you look and how you're going to present to other people, that is definitely a big factor.
We had for one of our events, and this was the host, true story. And he actually basically went to one of the local stores like Valley Village, and he got his whole suit
Yeah, a
and
lot
he
of
was
people
so
do
proud.
that.
And he looked really good.
Yeah,
Like he went and he picked it out, and it was on the
yeah.
budget of so much, and he looked really. And this was a three-piece,
Mm-hmm.
ensemble that he put together. Nothing necessarily had to be the suit, but the ensemble that he put together,
Yeah.
but he had really good taste in that. I I don't
That's the
believe
other thing. Style is important.
that
Not so
is
much fashion, but style. The way in which you put things together. And please, what are you laughing at? Somebody's written something.
this
What's
is
that?
Tim.
Hey, I bathe every Saturday, whether I need it or not.
Yes, Tim.
Well, two gold stars.
Gold star. Well, you're in Trinidad, Tim, so you better. I just hope that the rest of the week is very cold and rainy, so you probably run outside, and then on Saturdays you actually go into the shower and shower.
Oh.
You'll be sweating stink. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Well, let's take the Saturday and multiply that by 7. It's an everyday thing.
You know, talking about suspenders.
Mm.
I don't think you were there. I think it was Michelle was in the office one day. We were going to this event. I don't know if it was. I think it was a fashion show or something.
Mhm.
In Trinidad, it's hot. That's why it should be every day go and stand in the sun or under the standpipe or under the strap or something. Anyway, so Michelle, we were getting dressed at the studio at the time.
Mhm.
It's a couple of years ago, and we were getting dressed to go, all of us. And I turned around, and my business partner at the time wanted to surprise me because he always hear me talking about the suspenders. And I guess I came out my office, the room, a little bit unexpected. And I think Michelle was helping her with something or fix something up, tie. And he actually went and he got suspenders. Now, we didn't have the jacket on, just a shirt.
Yeah.
The, they were just dying with laughter because I couldn't speak. I ran back in the other room.
I think you need therapy.
No, here's what it
You're
was.
suspended.
Here's what the thing was. It's the fact that somebody
Yeah.
actually went out of their way
Mhm.
to do something to make me laugh and
Yeah.
smile and embarrass the hell out of me. I couldn't watch. I didn't see that coming because that's not where I wanted to come from.
Oh my goodness.
Um, but seriously, I don't think I ever told anybody said that before. But I walked in and I saw it and I just stood there going back. I was like, I could still
Well,
remember
you know
that.
what the thing is too that I
Man,
think
are you listening to this?
what's
We want you to look sexy so we can feel in ourselves. That's not the only reason why we're going to feel sexy, but it's something nice. It's a nice little gesture that we can say, you know what? He rocks it. And I would love to do this project and say, let's get a bunch of men and women together, all size, shapes, whatever. They'll get some photographers, let them
oh,
volunteer their
that
time
would
and
be
promote
amazing.
them.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
I'm seriously always looking to promote themselves. Everybody get their own clothes, but you have to pass it by
Mhm.
us first what you're going to actually put on because you're not going to get away easily. It has to be tasteful.
Well, of course. I mean, you're going to style the event. We don't do things just haphazard.
Yeah, well, at their expense. No, but there's no budget here. You're going to do it. It's at their expense.
No, but I mean,
I'm
you
not
have
kidding
to
you.
you have to style
Long
the
shorts
event.
and the socks and sandals. Okay, Tim. But definitely. But what I'm saying to you, it's a fun thing. And this is what we're saying. When we always talk about sexiness, we always talk about this show about sexiness with women and it
Mhm.
helps women. But we really want the men to come out and say, what it is I want, what is your best feature, what it is you look for being sexy, having some fun. Now, Tim, in all seriousness, if you want to wear, well, Tim, you're in Trinidad, but let's say you could still do it in Trinidad there for me.
Mhm.
If you want to take long shorts and knee
You stop
socks
and
and
say,
sandals,
oh,
and you could bloody rock that, hey, again, that's a style. If you
listen,
can rock
uh,
it and pull it off, then
listen.
that's
There's been decades where that whole look goes in and out, even on like the fashion runway, right?
yeah,
The designers all mock socks with sandals. There was a point in time in European fashion that was huge.
it still is.
Socks with yeah,
It still
socks with
is in a lot
sandals.
of
But you
cultures.
know what? Again, it's about the style. You
Mhm.
can't just put stuff together, walk out of your house and think, okay, wow. It's not always wow. It's how you put it together. And is that person walking with their head held high? Is their back straight? Is their posture? I mean, show me something.
Look at golfing. That's
Yeah.
exactly what golfing is all about, more
Hmm.
or less. And guess what? Golfing clothes is not cheap.
No, it's definitely not.
And
Oh,
that's
okay,
what
so
it
you're
is.
into golfing. You're into golfing gear too.
Who,
Interesting.
me?
Suspenders
Me?
and golfing.
No, 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 no,
Oh
no, no, no.
no.
I went to golf. No, 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 no. I went to no, 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 no. I went to golf club for a charity event for an event
Okay, yeah.
fundraiser. So no, no, no. I'm not into golfing. But when I see some of the young people, they had the everything, the shoes, the gloves, the
Yeah.
this. I was like, well, that ain't cheap. Mm-mm.
No, 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 it's not.
Um,
But that's the thing about like
maybe not the
uniform.
golfing. Wait, maybe
Mm.
not the golfing, but I can, sightsee.
Well, you know what? You're in the market. You're in the
Um,
marketplace.
Well, unfortunately, I seem to be going to the wrong marketplaces.
Yeah, you need to find a new marketplace, honestly.
It's called these four, get out of these four walls. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
you have to step out of that. But you know what I mean? That brings up a point in just in terms of like dating and sexiness and attractiveness. As you're getting older, often, that kind of starts parking itself on the side because you're like, that's not for me. That was just when I was younger. But I'm telling you, and I keep saying this because more and more every day, I keep seeing people who are over 40, over 50, over 60, 70, 80, like killing it. People are
Oh,
looking
So
better
you
now
wait.
than
So
they
you
looked
consider what? Wait a
10,
minute. You
10
consider
years
what
ago.
killing, and I can't say that we're killing it,
Oh, I said killing it.
but I can't say that. She
It
gets
all
upset with me.
depends on the context.
I know, I know. Here's the thing. This is a true story. I have people in the 80s, in
Hmm.
80s, of parents of friends
Yeah.
who one of them, oh God, no, he can't say so short he would kill me. But looking for companionship and girlfriends.
Hmm.
I have a friend whose father just got married, so she got to move out. Another one who lost his wife not too long ago, and is dating already, and so
Right.
forth, things like that.
Yeah.
Because again, what they're looking
Yeah.
for companionship, but they're willing to date, and they go out there. They don't live together. Well,
Yeah.
that one got married, but the other one no. They don't live together. They'll probably drive people crazy. But again, so if they can do it, what are we waiting on?
Yeah.
I am just saying to these people out there, you really have to know how to sweep people off their feet. But it's about looking good at all times. And there's some people who really can do it and some people don't. But I'm telling you, that
Mm,
GQ moment, that would never leave me for as long as I live. It should
mm,
be in the front of it should be front of a magazine, I'm telling you. It's just a very neat, and the person is well built and takes care of themselves and so forth. But the point is, this is what we believe is
mm.
we talk always about the women and sexiness, but this is what we want to talk about the men now and sexiness. What is
Well,
sexiness?
we've been talking about the men for a while.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I just want to know this show ended up being, we always talk about women, but this one is particularly focused on men because right now, everybody who is here are all men.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not.
Well, then they need to ask some questions.
Well, are you guys willing, the ones who are local, are you willing to actually do this project with us in terms of having this photo shoot, a fun thing? Do message me. Definitely so. You know how to find me. Rose, how can they find you?
Okay, well, for me, I can
I
be
know I
reached
should have put it up there, so I'm
on
going to type it out. I
I
didn't see
can be reached by phone, email, and social media. So I'm on Instagram primarily. You can reach me at Rose N underscore the declutter coach. I can be reached at really organized now at gmail.com.
that's a whole
I can be
type.
reached at my website, reallyorganizednow.com.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say that this is a day for men. It's funny, I had a phone call with someone just before we came on the show talking about International Men's Day that's coming up. And, this is something, and by the way, men and women, you have young boys, young men
Mm-hmm.
in your home. You have to tell that story, what you tell your sons,
Mm-hmm.
just to let you know this is what you need to also enforce and encourage in your own home. So, what do you tell your sons, Rose,
Mm-hmm.
before they leave the house? I always
Oh,
crack when I hear.
oh, you're not coming out with me like that. Like that was a statement that I heard even from like my mom. My mom was like somebody who was like, no, heck no. Put your best foot forward. You're not wearing those track pants. You're not wearing no. Put yourself together because the thing is that when I leave the house, I'm representative of you and me. So when they leave the house, they need to be representative of themselves and me because we're representing each other. We're representing our family. You got to put your best foot forward, right? So it's a small prideful type thing, but it's a general rule, right?
Absolutely. I just cracks me up, like, and she will stop you in your tracks. Like literally, we got to tell the story. I know we've talked about it many times. Is you and Michelle. Michelle's going to be on the show soon as well.
Yeah.
And you and Michelle, when I this white suit thing, because now I have to figure out how to move around it because I can't seem to find any of the pictures outside this white suit.
Hmm.
And you and Michelle, that was really some. I was representing men, by the way. So I
Hmm.
was half man, half woman in that sense. And I put in the
Right.
suit. I was trying to find a top, and I couldn't find a top. I didn't get a bra top, but it worked well. And this was not a photo shoot we did. This was just us having fun at the event and just with the camera. And when Rose saw it, she was, I think she bleeped. I have to bleep it, but she didn't bleep anything to Michelle. Um, why didn't you tell them what happened? Because it was really the beginning of, I don't know. I can't believe I have that picture all over all my marketing now, regardless of who's seen it.
I know, but I don't understand
Didn't bleep.
sometimes where you get this concept that you
I
have
always
to
wanted a white suit. I always wanted a
that
white suit.
is not appropriate for what it is that you're doing in terms of business. Women can represent themselves however the hell they want, period. I don't care. I don't care what the industry is. Okay. Obviously, you have to be appropriate to some extent in terms of looking professional. But if you're telling me that a woman cannot show her midriff, or a woman can't be bald, or a woman can't show shoulders, like I'm not about that. So when I saw that picture and I'm like, we're looking here for a picture that is going to be representative of all this new branding. And you have this whole curation of photos taken in that event in the perfect, the perfect suit, right? Like first of all, it was just head to toe white. It was a little bit off white, I guess,
No,
color.
it's white. The shoes
Is
was
it
even off
white
white.
white?
It was
Yeah.
white, but the shoes are slightly off white. Yeah.
But I'm just like at any age you can rock it. You fortunately you have a certain height criteria that is met, size criteria. you're a gorgeous person. You're a gorgeous looking
But
woman.
that was not the reaction you gave. That was not the
Well,
reaction you.
I don't know what I can do on here. Like I have a potty mouth sometimes. I tell it like it
No,
is.
you can say that was not. You can say what you want. This show is no, seriously. There's a reason why I brought that up, because for women as well as the men, we don't understand because we take things for granted. We hide, and you have somebody else. Because even Michelle said to me, "Is about people in time."
Yeah.
She was like, "What?" So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's a hell of a sexy outfit.
Yeah, never worked out
I
the
would
same.
like to think of it as corporate sexy, you know.
Well,
That
I take your word for it, and only because you said that in terms of that. Other than that, if it was anybody else that said me, they would not have gotten away with it, because guess what? She would not let me use any other picture of my ass. Everything it does not work for her. She is such a picky, fussy one that you know what keeps us on our toes. So for the men and the women out there, if
I
you
know
really
you think
have
I'm
something,
some kind of glamazon or something. I'm not, but I can appreciate beautiful things,
that
beautiful
is why we're going to
people.
do this photo shoot.
And I just think that everybody has something winning about themselves that they can show off and that they can accentuate and they can tell the world, you know what, F you if you don't like it. This is me and I'm
This is the Rose I
freaking
know.
gorgeous.
See, this is
I
the
am
Rose I know.
freaking gorgeous.
This is the Rose I know. She keep
Right?
back nothing,
I
nothing
mean, I'm
whatsoever.
53 and I'm not going to say like I'm not 20. Things have changed. Like my body has changed. My mind has changed. A lot of things have changed. And you've got to meet yourself where you are at. And you still have to learn to love yourself and appreciate the things that come into play, right? That doesn't mean that you can't self-improve. And it doesn't mean that, like I mentioned at the top, that you don't have moments when you're not feeling yourself. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? There are definitely moments for that.
Okay, I'm going to add a suspenders to that suit too. Actually, my kids always wear suspenders when they were very young. The girls, everybody,
Oh
they
my God, it's
they
so cute.
always, always. I'm going to add suspenders to that suit. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. So, I'm not kidding you about that one. So here's what we want to do. Seriously, we are going to look into that project. Why? And I believe it's going to be quite a hoot and a fun project. Not kidding you. In regards to helping people bring, this is not about for anybody out there. This is for us, but everybody else is going to see it out there. It's for you. But yes, everybody's going to see it out there. And we can work on that. We'll keep mentioning it. We'll work on that, Rose. We got a photographer, we got a studio, a space, and like I said, it doesn't have to be any fancy stuff. We have furniture. We can really do this.
Yeah.
And this is going to make a huge difference. That suit, after she ranted and raved and swore about it so many times, it really actually made me more confident. I actually choose the picture now to use it, because I really got my choice of pictures, as you know
Yeah.
this. And photo shoots are not easy to do. I don't like professional photo shoot, but this was not a professional photo shoot. This was actually us
Mm.
having fun with the camera.
But
And
can you imagine you being guided by a professional photographer in an outfit like
nah,
that, in a head to
no,
toe look?
I am
Oh
not
yeah.
a structured person like that. I'm a candid person. If you take candid shots, that's fine. If you tell me to pose this way and pose this way, oh my God, I'm a nervous wreck.
No, I mean there are photographers that are good at
Yeah,
taking
there, and
at
that's what it
grooming
is.
people to take their candid shots. Trust me, they know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Well, candid shots, you get me in there. If you tell me to look at the camera and smart or not smart, I have to show it to you.
No,
I have
I
to show it to you
mean
that I'm smiling as well.
people don't take these kind of stagey pictures outside of like maybe a professional headshot. For the most part, people really want photography that's relatable, where it shows a lot of your personality, and sometimes your personality is sexy. So,
It's the personality is just teeth. See, I show you the dimples, teeth.
hey, you know what? A good smile is
Yes.
sexy.
And
That's
here's my contact information. If you guys, and I apologize, Rosen is not there, but it was too much to type last minute. I forgot about that. So my apologies.
you
But
forgot about me.
I thought I had it, but I couldn't find it. I must have had so many things that I just anyway.
Not a
Those
problem.
who
You can
those
you
who
can
are
put it on
interested,
the you can put it on the YouTube channel. It's not a
yes,
problem.
yes, yes, we can
Yeah.
add that. So anybody who's interested in being part of this project, step it up. Let me see how brave you are in doing this. We'll have some conversations, and Miss Rose there is going to look into that. And believe me, if you think the photo shoot is one, just being there with her in the room is a whole nother story. That's all I
Well,
got to say.
either way, it'll be fun.
It'll
I'm
be fun.
sure
It's
we'll
a
have
fun
fun.
thing.
But
And I
it
believe it.
sounds like a great idea, and I think it's something that definitely could look into doing. If there's people out there that are saying, "Hey, you know what? I heard what you were talking about on the show, and I think that would be an awesome idea. I'd love to be a candidate for that and participate."
But they have to tell us why. They have to tell
So
us why they want to be a candidate on this,
yeah,
right?
so yeah, we'll talk more about that for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. We'll do this and we'll
Yeah,
get some, one or two photographers or three photographers or whatever and say how we can do this. And just do know it takes time. So, whatever, whoever photographers here have friends and so forth, it's going to
yeah.
be a fun thing as well, right? But
Hmm.
Rose, we could talk for hours. And
I
today we
know.
spent a lot of time on the men, and because the men really also need to know that we're not, it's because it's women, it's not always about women. It's also about the men. It's also about, and especially since International Men's Day is coming up soon, it should be every day is International Men's Day. International women, they always get a lot of traction more than the men. So we want to step it up with the men. We want men to come out, and we don't want them to think that they meet or women are meat. No, that's not what we're here about. But all you gotta do is put on suspenders for me, and I'm a happy camper. That's all I gotta say. Okay. And as
Well,
soon
it would be interesting to get their take on what they think is considered
I
sexy, but
just say,
also to have a discussion on the interpersonal relationships. I think that's the
absolutely,
dynamic that needs to be talked about as
absolutely.
well,
I'm just giving a little hint there. Okay. That's all.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for me, but I just say, oh, somebody out there is going to come and make me laugh my head off. If you've never seen me blush before or shy, oh my God, you should start. That's all another story. I think I talk too much about certain things. But my dear,
Mhm.
it's only because I'm comfortable with you and everybody who's on there. And anybody who's catching us on the replay, please tell us your comments and if you're interested in this and your thoughts about it. And this is Miss Rose Nixon. She would declutter your life, she would declutter your closet, she declutter your business, she reorganize it, she'll tell you yes, no, no, yes. You reach a point now that even Alan and myself will say, well, what does Rose will think? And then we're like, you know what? Should we put it? Should we not put it? Whatever the case. And we're like, she has us so nervous. Why? Because we love her and respect her. Don't worry, we can think for ourselves too. But it's always good to get somebody from the outside to look in because sometimes we're really too hard on ourselves. What do you want to say in wrapping up, Rose?
I just want to say that, the sexy starts from within and it starts with you. And the way you think about yourself, the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak to yourself is makes a huge impact on what it is that you put out in the world. And anytime somebody can walk out of themselves and put themselves in front of other people and come across as a positive person, using positive language, I think for me, that's like a big sexy thing.
Cool. Well, you just had a request here. This is for you.
I need Rose to come over and clutter my room and my deck. Your deck? Oh wow.
Desk. I think it
Winter's
should be
coming.
desk. I think it should be desk. Is it
Oh, your
desk?
desk.
I
Okay.
don't think I don't think Alan's room is big enough for a deck. Or maybe he probably does have a deck. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. People don't
is it a
realize.
desk or a deck, Alan? I think it's a desk you're
Probably
talking about.
desk. The thing is that
Desk. It's a desk.
often, he brings up a good point though. Often our environments can either deter us or detract us from feeling sexy. Because if your surroundings are crowding your
Mhm,
energy, right? It's becoming a negative space. You don't
mhm.
feel a certain way
That's
in
so
there.
true.
You
I
know,
just I
you're
just found
living in a
today.
cluttered environment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's nothing in there that's promoting sexiness. So
Absolutely.
yes, let's make it a sexy space.
Yes. And he said he's
Right,
okay
right.
to pay a premium. You better take him up on that. Definitely.
I
So
know, right?
I know. You can stand up here and you just have to watch. You could stand up here and probably reach your hand today and there in Alan's room for the moment.
Okay, so
For the moment
yeah,
where he
yeah,
is right now.
yeah,
But I want to say it's, we really truly have to, we have to laugh at everything we do. And thank you so much for that. We really have to laugh at ourselves. Take in humor, let out humor, watch ourselves in the mirror and say, you're crazy. Because I know sometimes I feel like I'm crazy. I know sometimes I feel like overwhelmed. And sometimes I just found out today that all these crystals I had in my room, it's all about crown chakra. And I'm like, what is this attracting? I just didn't do it on purpose. We have things around us that inspires us, and we don't even know how it inspires us. We just buy the thing, we put it down there. There's a lot of us sitting where I live here and just don't know the meaning because we know we gravitate to certain things. You may have things in your house that may work for you, may not work for you.
exactly,
Get
exactly.
Rose to come out.
Good
Get Rose to
energy.
come out. And she does this virtually, by the way. Uh-huh.
Hmm. Thank you for
Just
mentioning that. Yes,
yeah, you do
absolutely.
this virtually. Just
We
quickly, your
do virtual
contact
sessions
information,
as
since I
well.
didn't put it
Yeah.
up there. Your contact information again, please.
Hmm.
What is your contact information
Oh,
again?
sorry.
I'm pretty
I
sure I
can
had
be
it here, but
I can be reached at reallyorganizednow.com, reallyorganizednow@gmail.com. And I can be reached through my DMs. So you can direct message me at Rose N underscore declutter coach on Instagram.
yeah, and definitely so because Rose is also part of our team, and she is the clutter coach as well. So I want to thank you so much. There's a lot more that we can talk about, and let's really seriously look about this part. Think about this project, and for anyone who is interested, please do contact us. Catch us on the replay. Share this. It's time we have to step it up. And here's the thing: we're going to be selfish about this because we're really doing this for ourselves. You just guys can come along for the ride.
I like that. Hmm.
But it's true. We're doing this for ourselves. And what does that mean? Each one of us
Hmm.
is your own self. That's what I meant. Not just for Rose and for me, for each one of us. And individually, whether it be Alan or Tim or Jeff, for each one of you, say that to yourself. You're doing this for yourself. What you choose to do
Absolutely.
it after is totally up to you.
Hey,
So, on that note, I want to say thank you all for listening. Thank you all for putting up with us. Thank you for us talking. Um,
well, thank you for having me, Diane. I appreciate it. This was quite the experience. And wish you luck on future shows.
well,
And
thank you. You're not going to be going too far, Miss Rose.
no,
Definitely not. Definitely not. But I want to say to everyone out there, it's sometimes we get crazy on here, and sometimes we talk some more sense, and sometimes we like to say how we let things out, and we get very personal. Sometimes we get too personal. Then sometimes things come out of our mouths that not supposed to come out, and all these little funky things. But I really love the idea of us doing this project. Let's see where it goes. It may not happen overnight, but let's see where it goes. And we're going to have to limit the spots and so forth and just do something fun. And then we can probably have everybody on here at one, at a certain given time, and talk about the experience and how it make them feel. And you never know how it's going to take
yeah, it
you
could be
to
a
the
bigger
next level.
project than you think.
Well, we don't do anything small, right? So
Excellent.
yes. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you for everyone who participated in all the comments and so forth. It's fun and okay. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to hear. You never know. You never know. You never know. All I know is that if you interact, this is what happens. Ideas create. Things come out of it for
Hmm.
you, for myself, and for everyone else out there. So we have to be the role models for others and say it's okay to put on a white suit with a brat up. That's all I have to say. On that note, until next time on
Mhm.
this sexy show, this is Deanne and Rose saying, we love you guys. Catch us on the replay, share it, and we want to hear your comments and feedback. Remember, every show is a work in progress. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.